Welcome to the 91st annual meeting of the Bucks County Association of Realtors and the installation of our 2021 Board of Directors. My name's Pam Croak. I'm honored to be the Chief Executive Officer of the Bucks County Association of Realtors. We really wish we could be together for this important event, but we're going to make the best of the situation and we're going to strive to make today's virtual event enjoyable for all. I would be remiss if I did not thank the BCAR staff for their diligence in arranging today's event. They've become Zoom experts and they're always doing their utmost for our members. Thank you. We have a few hints for the best experience on Zoom. Please turn on your video so we can all feel like we're together, even though we're not. Set your view, which is found in the upper right corner of your screen, to side-by-side gallery. And please mute your microphone. You were sent today's program as a PDF with the reminder email you received yesterday, but staff has also posted the program in the chat section, which can be found at the bottom of your screen. If you're having technical difficulty at any point, please message us by using that same chat function. Now, on to our program. We have some invited guests with us today, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize them. First, I'd like to warmly welcome incoming President Dana Gray's husband, David, her parents, Mark and Seal Gellenberg, and her parents-in-law, Gary and Diane Gray. We know that Dana is going to be giving time to us this coming year that may be taken from you, and we appreciate your generosity in sharing her with us. Also with us today from the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors is President Bill Festa, who's going to be giving the oath of office to incoming President Dana Gray. President-elect Chris Radd, First Vice President, our own Chris Beedling, Treasurer Al Parry, immediate past President Bill McFalls, current District 3 Vice President Eric Railing, 2021 District 3 Vice President Kevin McFeeters, and CEO Mike McGee. From the Tri-County Suburban Realtors Association, Chairman Josh McKnight, Vice Chairman Vince Range, and CEO Anne Marie Mateo. From the Greater Philadelphia Association of Realtors, President Stephanie Biello and CEO Matt Braden. From the Suburban Realtors Alliance, President and CEO Jamie Ridge and Government Affairs Manager Erin Smist. From Bright MLS, our Regional Vice President Brian Preston. From the Bucks County Real Estate Institute, Chairman Dennis Lawrence and Vice Chairman Alex Schneider. I'll note that Alex also serves as the NAR Director for BCAR. Welcome to everyone. Many thanks for being present to witness our leadership transition. Right now, it's time for me to turn this meeting over to our president. And as a matter of personal privilege, I thank Scott and the leadership team for the many hours spent charting BCAR's course through the storm that has been 2020. You have our heartfelt gratitude for the sacrifices you made on behalf of all of us. Without further ado, I turn the program over to the president of the Bucks County Association of Realtors, Scott Geller.
Thanks, Pam. So welcome, and I'd like to call the meeting to order and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, good morning. I'm very pleased to welcome you to the Bucks County Association of Realtors 91st annual meeting and installation of officers and directors. I'll begin by thanking all of you for being with us today. Who would have ever thought we'd be conducting our installation as a virtual event? I certainly did not, but here we are, so let's make the best of it and have some fun. The good news is you get to decide what's on the menu. So, 2020 was quite a year, huh? And what a year to be president. Through a pandemic, real estate being declared non-essential and fighting to get us back to work, developing a short-term emergency strategic plan, Black Lives Matter and social unrest and fighting for social justice, and the loss of way too many lives, the necessity of remote work, and the many hours of meetings with NAR, PAR, BCAR, and our neighboring associations. which turned this volunteer position into a full-time unpaid job. And even though we didn't get to go to New Orleans or anywhere else for that matter, I'm still grateful and thankful for the opportunity to learn and grow, make new friends near and far, and have the support and help of my leadership team, your board of directors, our CEO and amazing staff, my broker and owners, Barry and Kevin, and all of you who have reached out with encouragement and concern. And through it all, I am happy that my one big goal for 2020 was accomplished, our new long-term strategic plan, and we didn't raise your dues. We are positioned well to take this association into whatever the future brings, meeting our mission to help you succeed, thrive, and profit. We have helped protect private property rights and have successfully advocated for your interests. We are in good hands going forward with your new leadership team and incoming President Dana. On behalf of myself and our members, I want to thank Pam Croak, our CEO, for going above and beyond to keep things rolling. And a huge shout out of appreciation to past President Ann Costello for your mentorship, love, support, and friendship. And to Siobhan Young for all your efforts and dedication and hard work of all the amazing people behind the scenes, including Lisa Fry, Kelly Wenhold, Anne Marie Allen, and our education director, Lisa Ginsburg. You all have made this year possible, and without you, BCAR would not exist as we know it. Thank you so much. I want to wish our leadership team, staff, and you, our valued members, all the best. I hope to see you all in person in the near future. Thank you for placing your trust in me. I hope you all stay safe and healthy and take care of yourselves. And with that, let's do another poll. Actually, our first poll.
Thanks. Thanks, Scott. I missed the first polling question.
Oh, why don't you throw out the first poll and I'll throw out the second.
Okay. Anne Marie, if you could put up the graphic, please.
I can do the poll question, Pam. I don't believe we have a graphic for it, but
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So the question is, who crashed their dad's boss's Mercedes-Benz convertible into a telephone pole 10 days after they got their driver's license? Everybody was okay. So cast your vote and we'll see who it was. You just have to hit submit after you make your selection. Submit's at the bottom of the poll question. Are we good, Anne Marie?
I have it, Pam. It's okay.
Thanks, Lisa.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to end it. We have most people. And
okay,
here are the results.
Ooh. Well, the answer is it was Scott Geller. Good job, Scott. I'm glad you weren't hurt. So you can do the second poll, Scott.
The second question is, who knows how to throw clay?
Are we done?
We have most people. I'll end it right now. And here's the results.
41% guessed the right answer. It is Dana Gray, our incoming president. I look forward to seeing some of those pieces that you do, Dana. Okay. Scott, you can resume.
Perfect. So we have our Realtor Emeritus Award. Realtor Emeritus status is awarded to a Realtor member who has held membership in the National Association of Realtors for a cumulative period of 40 years and has completed at least 1 year of service to the National Association. Emeritus members do not pay dues to the local, state, or national associations and are exempt from the Code of Ethics training requirement. Please join me in honoring BCAR's newest Realtor Emeritus, Daniel Liuzzi. A former air traffic controller, Dan has the distinction of being the longest serving realtor with Kirkus Sotheby's International Realty. He is a native of Philadelphia and has lived in the New Hope area for more than 35 years. Dan appreciates historic architecture, He understands and speaks Italian and enjoys classical music, jazz, art, and travel. And he's been a consistent top 10 agent with his company. Congratulations, Daniel. Yay. Okay, so we're going to acknowledge our outgoing directors. I now want to take this opportunity to call your attention to several individuals who are ending their terms on the board. Immediate past President Ann Costello, Director Lisa DePamphilis, and Director Michelle Gramilovitz. I extend to each of them a great thanks for their work on behalf of their colleagues and profession. BCAR has been greatly enriched by their efforts. Thank you all. And we also thank the 2020 committee chairs and co-chairs who gave so generously of their time throughout the past year. Affiliate membership, Ralph Serino and Greg Kramer. Commercial, Chichi Ahia and Karen Black. Diversity, Rose Yuan. Education, Lynn Schauer. Finance, Treasurer Melanie Banks. Government Affairs, Alex Schneider and Maureen Scanlon. Grievance, Todd McCarty. Member Services and Planning, Dana Gray and Paula Campbell. Professional Standards Committee, Herb Marizzi. Reach Out Committee, Jessica Fennell and Susan Langenstein. RPAC, Christy Minetta and Marcia Hick. Screening, Ann Costello. Strategic Planning, Dana Gray. And Technology and Communications, Jim Olivieri. Thank you all for your dedication and time. And now we have a presentation of Realtors Own It coins. In 2018, we started a tradition at BCAR with a presentation of Realtors Own It coins. These awards are tokens of gratitude, but are not intended to stay with their recipients. Regifting of the coins is expected to pass them along to the next worthy recipient in appreciation for their commitment to serve. Last year, Mary Ellen O'Brien and Andy Donahue received the coins. They are with us today to pay them forward. Mary Ellen, would you please go first?
Good morning, everybody. I'm actually really thrilled to be here to present this coin to this very deserving candidate. Diligence, strength, perseverance, and commitment are adjectives that so aptly describe the person to whom I will pass my token of gratitude coin, which is right here. This person has been a member of the BCAR Board of Directors for over 8 years, a 2007 graduate of the BCAR Leadership Institute. She has served on many task forces and committees in her 14 years as a member. I'm sure that you can imagine it takes tremendous behind-the-scenes work to keep BCAR running smoothly. In some organizations, the treasurer position is a stop-off on the way to other offices. At BCAR, the treasurer is appointed, chairs the finance committee, is responsible for financial reporting to the board, and is an integral part of all planning efforts. It is a position that requires much hard work, attention to detail, on which this person seems to thrive. She has been tireless in her quest to create a highly successful career while being the sole provider for 3 children. We have all benefited from that work ethic, which she has applied to assist BCAR. She does not shy away from having difficult conversations or speaking truth to power, and all of us are better for it. It gives me great pride to pass my token of gratitude coin to the BCAR treasurer, Melanie Banks. Congratulations, Melanie.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. We were trying to guess who it was going to be until you said my 3 children.
Congratulations, well deserved. I will send this in a mail envelope to you very soon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you, Melanie, for all of your hard work and dedication.
Thank you.
And now I'll ask Andy to please present his coin.
I too have the coin. Good morning, honored guests, fellow realtors and affiliates, and welcome PAR President Bill Festa. This will be the 3rd presentation of the Token of Gratitude coin. Bob Ramagli was the first well-deserved honoree of this recognition, and I was the very surprised and honored recipient last year. This year, I am truly honored to pass along the coin of gratitude coin, especially to such a deserving person. We all should be grateful for the many years of service this person has devoted to the members of BCAR and in so many capacities. He has taken on some of the more thankless tasks of our organization, such as reviewing bylaws and policies and procedures. He served all of you on the leadership team as a vice president, president-elect, and then president. He has chaired numerous task forces and committees. He serves on the very important SRA board, which he also was chairman. He is vice chair of and a popular instructor for our school, the Bucks County Real Estate Institute. He's been a PAR director for 9 years, and on the national level is an RPAC major investor and currently serves as BCAR's NAR director. He does all of this while also maintaining a successful law practice and real estate office. He shows his commitment to all of you every day, and I feel so fortunate to give my token of gratitude to Alex Schneider. Congratulations.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Andy. I really appreciate that and completely surprised. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You
What
deserve
an
it.
honor. Thank you.
Please join me in congratulating coin recipients Melanie Banks and Alex Schneider. It is our ongoing hope that every recipient of an Own It coin continues to pass it along to another worthy recipient to ensure the coins remain in circulation for years to come. Now, I'd like to introduce our NAR director, Alex Schneider. After the last award, I think you know everything there is to know about Alex. I am happy to turn the microphone over to him for President Dana Gray's installation oath.
Thanks, Scott. And wow, I have to say I'm really floored and really heartfelt. I really appreciate receiving that. That means quite a bit. But we're not here about me today. I mean, I know that we usually are, but today we'll make it about somebody else. Before I talk a little bit about Dana and give her the oath of office, I think we have another question here, right? Another poll question.
Yep.
So
I'll do it right now. Do you want to
Okay,
read
question-
it or?
Yep. Question number 3 is, who plays Santa during the Christmas season? Listen, no elf jokes here either. And you know who you are. I guess who's got the control there? I guess whenever. Whenever
I
you're
do.
ready.
I can end
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay. So the results.
It looks like
Yeah, it's
So
John. I know.
it is John. It is John.
it is John. Yes.
Yep. It is.
You guys got that one. Good. Not Alex, huh? Okay. Anyway, it's my privilege and my honor to have have Dana Gray sworn in today. But before I actually swear her in to her oath of office here, many of you guys don't know that that I met Dana long ago, and you know, as I was preparing for this to introduce her today, I started thinking about what is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Dana, and the word trailblazer kept popping in my mind, and I know that term is oftentimes used loosely these days. People kind of throw it around, and everybody's a trailblazer, but truly, Dana is both figuratively and literally. When I first met Dana, I was in my third year of law school, and I was at a municipal meeting, fighting the good fight, God knows about what at the time, and I got an instant message, or somehow got a message from a person I never met before or knew of, and it was Dana. In Dana's local development, they were preparing to build a subdivision, and Dana took the lead from her neighbors to reach out to me to kind of help them fight the good fight. I mean, like everything else in my life, I lost, but nonetheless, Dana trailblazed that for her community and pushed to try to fight through to prevent the developer from building in their backyard, and she fought that fight for quite a long time. Then Dana got into real estate, and she once again trailblazed her own path, and in a relatively short amount of time, she's had success in real estate sales. She moved through leadership ranks, and today is we're all fortunate to have her incoming leadership as for our association as well. And on top of that, she's literally a trailblazer. Many of you guys don't know, but she's literally clearing paths in a property in the Poconos with her husband and building their own house. I mean, it's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. So without further ado, Dana, if you could raise your right hand and unmute yourself too. Everybody wants to hear you.
Let's hope the dog doesn't bark.
We prefer if the dog barks along. I have that effect on dogs and people in general. All right. In the role that you're about to assume, you will no longer be a private citizen, but a public servant. You are now identified as the president of the Bucks County Association of Realtors, dedicated to the best interests of the public and to the welfare of the association members. With these thoughts in mind, would you please raise your right hand? We already did that prematurely. It's all right. I wanted to get tired. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office of president to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the Constitution and bylaws of the Bucks County Association of Realtors, the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, and the National Association of Realtors? Will you observe and enforce the Realtor Code of Ethics, uphold and support the Pennsylvania Real Estate Commission in enforcement of license law, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests and high purposes of the Commonwealth and the welfare of its citizens? Do you so subscribe?
I do.
You may lower your hand. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim you duly elected and officially installed to the office of President of the Bucks County Association of Realtors. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 President, Dana Gray.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. And congratulations to you on the ONA coin. It's well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Scott, in my first action as president, I'm honored to present you, with your wife Karen's help, with this token of appreciation for your sacrifices on our behalf this past year. Please accept our sincere gratitude. Karen and Scott.
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. That was, I think, modeled after one that my father had.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, bear with me if my throat gets a little scratchy or I have to stop to take a drink of water. But I'd like to take a moment and again, thank you all for joining us this morning, as well as a big thank you to the PAR leadership team for carving time out of their busy schedules to be in attendance today. I'd also like to thank a few other people, Joy Zwicker, Janet Tarity, and Robert Selecki. Each of you have played such integral parts in my development as a realtor, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you being my sounding boards, advisors, and friends along my journey. And of course, thank you to my husband, David, my parents, and my family and friends who continue to be supportive of me. I couldn't do any of this without you. I'd like to give a special shout out to a person who during one of my very first trips to the PAR business meetings in Harrisburg made a simple sentiment. He said he would not be surprised if someday I was a local association president. It was that seed of encouragement that blossomed in my mind and led me on a pathway to leadership. That person is our 2018 PAR president and 2020 PAR Realtor of the Year, Todd Umbenhauer. Thank you for seeing something in me that I might otherwise have not, and showing by example what good leaders do, which is sowing the seeds and cultivating the next leaders. And speaking of the next leaders, one last thank you to my fellow leadership team of 2020 and incoming 2021, Ann, Scott, Lynn, Paula, and Melanie. This past year put us all to the test. But together, with the help of our amazing CEO, Pam, and the whole BCAR staff, we were able to quickly adapt to make sure our members had the information and resources necessary to continue to be successful in their business, but more importantly, be safe in their practices. And as if a pandemic wasn't enough, throw in a contentious election season and some civil unrest. And in light of those recent events, and as a nation, we had to re-examine how we perceive and treat each other. Diversity, equity, and inclusion became the hot new buzzwords in many organizations and industries. But these words aren't new to the real estate industry. These ideals and expectations are not new to realtors. Yes, there have been some missteps brought to light, a few bad apples. It just means we need to work harder, to hold each other accountable. To quote past President Umbenhauer, I ask my fellow realtors to continue to foster and promote fair housing practices to an even greater extent than we have in the past. His quote was from January 2018, and as we all know, there is continued work to be done. As realtors, we are as diverse as the clients and communities we serve, not just different in our cultural, political, and religious backgrounds, but also in our education and career backgrounds. Our commonality is not just the transaction. Our commonality is the choice we made to be more than just licensed real estate associates, the choice to be realtors, to abide by a code of ethics, and as Todd said, to foster and promote fair housing. And where many associations across the state and country are just now seeing the value and importance of creating diversity committees to enhance their members' awareness and sensitivity to these differences, I'm so proud that BCAR has embraced the diversity committee for several years now. And in collaboration with our education committee, they have offered programs and speakers like the At Home with Diversity certification and our Fair Housing Expo to help our members so that as stewards of the right to own, use, and transfer private property, they are prepared, comfortable, and confident in providing service to everyone in our community equally. Chaired by Rose Wan, the Diversity Committee has been working diligently throughout 2020 to continue to bring events, information, and resources as we move forward into 2021. And actually, registration is now open for their upcoming webinar on December 10th, titled, It's Not Just Black and White, a conversation about race, human rights, and real estate. So make sure you sign up for that. Past President Janet Tarity made the ask of participation and involvement with our association. And past President Ann Costello made the ask of understanding and investing in RPAC. I'm going to make a third ask of you. As your incoming president, my ask for 2021 is for each member to revisit the NAR Fair Housing Declaration. Print it out, keep it on your desk, and share it with your office. But most importantly, not just agree to, but commit to the following. And in the interest of time, I won't read them all, but I encourage you to revisit them. Provide equal professional service without regard to the race, color, religion, gender, disability, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity of any prospective client, customer, or of the residents of any community. Keep informed about fair housing laws and practices, improving your clients' and customers' opportunities and your business. Inform clients and customers about their rights and their responsibilities under the fair housing laws by providing brochures and information. Refuse to tolerate noncompliance and learn about those who are different from us and celebrate those differences. You see, today, we all have the opportunity and responsibility to promote positive changes in our world where we can. And for us as realtors, that is in housing. And so I'll leave you with one last quote from 2011 NAR President Ron Phipps. He said, "Change should not precipitate fear. It should precipitate discovery, empowerment, and teamwork." And so let us not fear diversity, equity, and inclusion, but rather we'll lean into it together with a new sense of discovery, empowerment, and teamwork. I look forward to serving as your 2021 president, and thank you all for your time. With that, thank you. With that, I have polling question number 4. Who won a car by kicking field goals at an Eagles game?
I'm going to end it now. We have most people responding.
There it is. That's the right answer, Matt Mercury. And when I asked him, what he won, he told me that it was actually, I think, a 3-year lease on a Jeep Wrangler. But he said he was in his 20s at the time, so he really thought he hit it big. Congrats, Matt. Thanks, Dana.
Okay, and it is my pleasure to now introduce Bill Festa, PAR President. Bill Festa is the broker owner of William Festa Realty in Philadelphia and has been a realtor for more than 40 years. Bill has been an active leader of PAR, serving on numerous committees and as district vice president before joining the leadership team. He's enthusiastically involved in his local association, the Greater Philadelphia Association of Realtors, where he served as president. And Bill is a federal political coordinator for the National Association of Realtors. Bill has been married for 39 years and has 4 grown daughters and 4 grandchildren. He enjoys spending time with his family and cooking, is a passionate Philly sports fan, sings with a community choir, and is very involved in his local church community. Welcome, Bill, and thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you, Dana, and congratulations to you. And we're looking forward to a great 2021. Before we go forward, I just have to stop and give a shout out to Pam Croak. She has been an excellent AE for many years and a real charm to the Bucks County Association of Realtors. So let's show a virtual round of applause for Pam. She's excellent. And also, before we get into the installation, you know the kind of year it's been, and I have been getting thank you notes and texts and everything, but I want to tell you right now, this year would not have been possible without our line officers, Bill McFalls, Al Perry, BCAR's own Chris Beedling, and our incoming president, Chris Rad, and especially our AE, Mike McGee. I know that they've already been announced, but I have to tell you, this was not a one-man show this year, and as well as you know all of that. As a matter of fact, it has been a very challenging year. We've learned to navigate our businesses during a pandemic. Whoever thought? Meeting with our clients virtually, wearing masks, and disinfecting after house visits. That's all part of our duties now. And as I'm sure you're aware, the state recently announced some new recommendations which reinforce the need to ask questions about safety protocols and whether our clients have traveled outside of the state. So using PAR's COVID HSA form will help with the travel recommendations. The form has a question about whether a signer has been to any domestic locations subject to a federal or state travel advisory. PAR's staff continues to reach out to officials in the governor's administration, as well as to Democratic and Republican legislators, to keep an open dialogue about pandemic restrictions to avoid a repeat of what happened to this industry in the spring. The feedback that we are receiving is that a blanket shutdown is something the governor is hoping to avoid. Rather, the governor is assessing the data to identify high-risk activities, such as large gatherings, or high-risk locations, such as high schools or college campuses, and will use that information to establish protocols moving forward. If there is any lesson to be learned from this information, it is that we as an industry should continue to adhere to the guidelines and do what is necessary to protect our clients and members. The last thing we would want to see is data showing a spike in cases that can be traced to showings, open houses, or any realtor activity, which can then make us a target for tightened restrictions. I'm also proud to say that PAR has continued to provide services for our 35,000 members throughout these unique times. Our legal hotline has seen a large uptick in calls. As of the beginning of November, PAR has handled nearly 6,000 legal hotline calls, and those numbers don't reflect the last 2 months of 2020. Our hotline attorneys also published 25 just listed articles and a number of videos so far, along with creating and updating most of the COVID-19 resources on our website. We are consistently hearing how much members appreciate this service. This year, I appointed an Inclusion Presidential Advisory Group, or a PAG, and asked them to provide recommendations for PAR's future strategic plan. This group was asked to look at increasing underrepresented communities in in association leadership, promoting fair housing practices within association membership, and addressing ways the association can increase housing accessibility for minority ownership. On the legislative front, we're pleased that Governor Wolf signed House Bill 2370, which makes remote online notarization permanent. You may recall that remote online notarization was put into place under the governor's COVID-19 emergency declaration. The provisions are identical to those in the emergency declaration, so there should be no disruption from the current practice. Additionally, we've seen movement in the General Assembly. Senate Bill 835 addresses the need for rural broadband service, which PAR supports. During this time, when so many meetings are held virtually, we can see an increased need for this. The National Association of Realtors also supports similar federal action to address this as well. And speaking of the National Association of Realtors, their board of directors recently approved a series of recommendations from NAR's Professional Standards Committee to uphold our commitment to fair housing by extending the application of Article 10 of the Code of Ethics to discriminatory speech and conduct outside of members' real estate practices. The board approved a new standard of practice that states realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs against members of protected classes. I urge you to watch a Facebook Live discussion on this very topic that aired last week, where I was able to talk with Hank Lerner, PAR's Director of Law and Policy, about the implications of these changes. And I would like to make one last note. You and all realtors have been incredibly resilient, and I want to thank you for your ongoing commitment to working safely. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak with you today, and I want to wish all of you a wonderful and happy holiday season. So let's move on to the installation. I am very pleased to install the following members of the Bucks County Association of Realtors Board of Directors. For the Office of Directors, Frank Blumenthal, John Iannarelli, Matt Mercuri, and Janet Tarity. For the Office of NAR Director, and congratulations to Alex Schneider. For the Office of Immediate Past President, and a good friend, Scott Geller. And for the Office of Vice President, Paula Campbell. And for President-elect, Lynn Scherer. You are about to assume a role as officers and directors of the Bucks County Association of Realtors and commit yourself to the best interests of your members. this industry and the public we serve. As officers and directors, you are taking on general and fiduciary duties of leadership. So on behalf of the entire Realtor organization, let me be the first to congratulate and thank you for your willingness to serve. Will those who are being installed please unmute themselves and raise your right hand? Do you so solemnly and sincerely swear that you will administer the office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the Constitution and bylaws of your board, as well as the State and National Association of Realtors? Do you also swear that you will adhere to and enforce the Realtor Code of Ethics, uphold and enforce the provisions of the Pennsylvania licensing law and the rules and regulations of the State Real Estate Commission, and that you will in all your acts be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the citizens of our Commonwealth, the high purposes of your board, and the welfare of your membership. If you do so subscribe, please say, I do.
I do.
You may lower your hands and remute. Is that a word? So by virtue of the authority conferred upon me by the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, I do hereby proclaim each of you as officially installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations to your 2021 leadership team. Thank you.
Thank you, President Bill. I have a final polling question for everyone. Who will this dog be giving a rose to on Valentine's Day? How we doing, Lisa?
We have about 55, so out
I
of 70.
think that's good.
Okay. So here we're gonna end it now. I'm gonna share it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Interesting. Oh, am I telling who the correct answer
Yeah.
Yes.
is? The correct answer is Alex Schneider.
What a cute
What a-
dog, Alex.
Super
Very cute.
Thank you. That's Sawyer, everybody, in case anybody's wondering. That's Sawyer.
Love it. Love it. Well, as we conclude, I thank all of you for attending. I hope you have a restful and peaceful holiday season. Be safe, stay well, and hopefully see you in person in 2021.
Thank you so much, Dana. Thanks, everyone.